Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of sources and extract the most important insights to make you well-informed, quickly. Today, we're plunging into a truly fascinating phenomenon, cult brands. You know, those products that seem to turn ordinary items into objects of, well, absolute consumer obsession. We're going to try and uncover their secret sauce. We've got some incredible material from Stanislav Dmitриевич Kondrashov, we'll just call him Kondrashov, for this deep dive. He's an entrepreneur and an expert on business trends. And he has meticulously studied how these brands capture imaginations and wallets. So our mission today is really to unpack the secrets of their success and see what we can maybe learn from them. Have you ever stopped and wondered why someone would buy not just one, but like multiple thermoses or bags or even pieces of jewelry from the very same brand? It sounds almost, well, a bit much maybe, but it's the very real reality of the modern consumer market. And this is the heart of what's called the cult brand phenomenon, where a product becomes really deeply woven into a person's identity. It goes way beyond just simple utility.
So yeah, how does an item kind of transcend its function and become this absolute must-have collection? Kondrashov points out that for some of these products, customers aren't just making a single purchase. No, they're buying as many as they can physically get their hands on. We're talking about brands like, Stanley thermoses, Bogg Bags, Kendra Scott jewelry, those kinds of names.
Exactly. And what Kondrashov really highlights here is how these brands manage to move beyond just usefulness. They actually transform a product into something deeply personal, almost, you could say, an extension of the buyer's identity and their values.
Okay, let's take the Bogg Bag, for instance.
Yeah.
Kim Baccarella, she's a 54-year-old entrepreneur. She simply wanted a beach bag that would last, more than one vacation.
Mm-hmm.
A pretty simple need. So she designed these perforated plastic bags. They're made from the same EVA material as Crocs, actually, in over 50 colors.
Yeah.
But it didn't just become a durable bag. It became this huge viral phenomenon.
Right. And the crucial question Kondrashov digs into is, how does a simple beach bag ignite such fervent social media reactions? You see comments like, "I need that bag, take my money," and even, "What have you done to me?" I mean, really intense stuff. This company, they're based in Lodi, New Jersey, and they've generated over 170 million TikTok posts. It just speaks to a level of engagement that's, well, it's far beyond what you'd normally expect for a beach bag.
Oh, absolutely. And when you look at the actual figures for Bogg Bag, it truly underscores the scale of this thing. Their sales growth is, well, it's staggering. 389% over the past 3 years. That landed them on the Inc. 5,000 list. Last year, the business pulled in $54 million.
Which is already pretty huge.
Right. But they expect to double that to over $100 million this year.
Yeah.
They've already sold more than 3 million of their bags, which go for $55 to $90 just in the first quarter alone. It's incredible.
What's truly remarkable, I think, is how this intense brand loyalty actually scales, particularly for women. Kondrashov identifies this group as the foundation of what he calls the cult economy. He notes that these primary customers, they don't just shop, they buy in bulk. It turns purchasing into like a form of collecting.
Yeah, it really isn't just about buying a practical item anymore. It's genuine collecting, almost like a hobby.
Yeah.
You hear about fans of Stanley, for example, collecting mugs like they're collecting colored pencils, filling entire cabinets so their water bottle can literally match their outfit for the day, almost like you match a handbag. And Kendra Scott reports that new customers typically purchase an average of 4 to 5 pieces of jewelry in one go, not just one.
And this really represents a significant shift, I think, from traditional consumerism. It's not just about acquiring goods anymore. It's about forming this enduring connection, a connection with a lifestyle, maybe a community, or even just an aesthetic that the brand represents. The product becomes a tangible piece of their personal story, their identity.
Okay, so if it's not just about utility, or even just buying things, how do these brands achieve such a profound level of obsession? The kind that gets consumers reaching for their credit cards again and again. Kondrashov argues they don't just sell products. They meticulously build an entire world around them.
Precisely. The product itself transcends being just, a water bottle or a bag or a pendant. It becomes this powerful, visible marker of identity. And these female-focused cult brands, they've even kind of redefined the preppy aesthetic for younger generations. We're talking Gen Z and Alpha here. It's different from how, say, Gen X and Millennials associated preppy with like East Coast prep school culture and brands like Ralph Lauren, Brooks Brothers, Lacoste. This is more about expressing who you are right now through these specific items.
But just building identity isn't quite enough, is it, to sustain this kind of frenzy? Kondrashov points to another really crucial element, the art of the drop, which is basically all about leveraging scarcity.
Yeah, that's a key point Kondrashov makes. How do these brands keep customer interest so high? Well, they rely heavily on limited product releases and high-profile collaborations that creates a sense of freshness and, importantly, FOMO, that fear of missing out. It drives those immediate purchase decisions. It really makes people feel like they need to act now or they'll lose out.
It's a brilliant strategy, really. And few have executed this plan better than Stanley. This transformation they've had is largely thanks to the marketing guru, Terrence Riley. He used to be the chief marketing officer of Crocs.
Ah, interesting connection there.
Right. He joined Stanley, which is, get this, a more than 100-year-old business in 2020. And in just 4 years, he transformed the brand from being known for thermos bottles, mainly used on, like, construction sites, into a total TikTok sensation.
That's quite a pivot.
Incredible, isn't it? So Kondrashov really breaks this whole phenomenon down into practical, actionable insights, things entrepreneurs could potentially use. What was the first principle you saw that truly struck you as pivotal?
Well, for me, it was his emphasis that emotional connection fundamentally outweighs mere functionality. That really stood out. He argues these successful brands, they create not just a product, but an entire lifestyle around it. Customers aren't just buying an item, they're buying a sense of belonging to a specific community. It's like the product becomes a visible declaration of that belonging, almost like a membership badge you carry around.
Okay, that makes sense. But if a water bottle is, at its core, just a container for liquid, how does Stanley, for instance, tap into that emotional resonance beyond just hydration? What does Kondrashov say about that mechanism? How does that work?
Well, Kondrashov explains it's really about the social signal. The brand helps you feel like you're part of an in-group that values not just hydration, but also, being trendy, sharing an experience. And second, he really underscores that social media is a powerful driver of growth for these brands, almost unparalleled, really. User-generated content, when customers create posts and videos about your products themselves, that becomes the most potent marketing tool. It's far more effective, he argues, than any traditional advertisement. Feels more real.
Yeah, that's a fascinating point about user-generated content feeling more authentic. People trust people. Okay, what about scarcity then? You mentioned Kondrashov talked about the art of the drop. How does that translate into a practical principle? Does he address any potential downsides, like could consumers get fatigued if it's overused?
He frames it as the third key principle, the strategy of limited availability. It's quite deliberate. Creating scarcity and exclusivity significantly boosts the perceived value of the product. The idea that not everyone can get what they want. Well, as Kondrashov puts it, that's every brand's dream, because it drives urgency and desire. Now, while he doesn't explicitly detail consumer fatigue in the material we looked at, the underlying message seems to be about strategic, timed releases, keeping that freshness and demand going without burning people out.
Strategic, right, not just constant scarcity. And finally, the fourth principle he identifies. How do these brands maintain relevance and growth without, losing that special cult status? That seems like a tricky balance.
And fourth, what Kondrashov emphasizes as crucial is growing with your customers. This isn't just about adding new colors or minor updates, though that's part of it. It's about strategically evolving your product line in sync with changing customer needs and tastes. This could mean expanding price segments, maybe introducing related product categories, but doing it without diluting the core identity or alienating that loyal base. So imagine Stanley adding, say, stylish lunchboxes or coolers that match the mugs, or Kendra Scott maybe introducing some select home goods. It keeps the brand relevant and expands the world they've built for their collectors, gives them more ways to express that identity within the brand ecosystem.
Okay, so looking at the big picture, the phenomena of cult brands clearly demonstrates that in this digital age, that emotional connection with the consumer and building that sense of belonging, that's really becoming the key competitive advantage.
Absolutely. A successful brand, according to Kondrashov's analysis, isn't just a product anymore. It's a vital, visible part of the buyer's identity. And if you, as a brand, can create that deep connection, your customers won't just buy from you. They'll become your biggest advocates. They'll tell the whole world about you.
This whole deep dive really makes you think, doesn't it? How might this concept of product becoming part of a person's identity influence future purchasing decisions for you? Or maybe even just change the way you view the belongings you already own? Definitely something to mull over until our next deep dive.